here is that only God can reveal God. No one else is up to the task or so uniquely qualified. The Son is the one true Word of God to man because He is God, the radiance of His glory and the exact representation of His nature. Not only so, but He is God's final Word and the standard by which all other words must be judged. This is the statement that will get you in trouble. The other day I was witnessing to a man who is Muslim, and he kept saying over and over, there's no contradiction between Christianity and the Muslim faith. There's no contradiction between what I believe about Jesus and what you believe about Jesus. And I said, sir, you have the right to believe what you will. Sir, according to my Christianity, if some racist person were to come in this store right now and try to shoot you, it is my task to jump in front of the bullet. Do not think I will ever persecute you or do anything against you. I will serve you. But sir, listen to me, you are wrong. Jesus didn't say He was a way. He said He was the way, and He said that anyone who came after Him was false. He is the final word. He left no room for another word. Second, the word spoken through your prophet contradicts the word spoken through mine. And so there is a possibility that both of us are wrong, if you want to look at it that way, but there is no possibility that both of us are right. Because our two different prophets say two absolutely different things, you see. Jesus is not just a word up till then. He is the final word. As I think the poem says, you and I, we use so many very clumsy words. The noise of what we often say is not worth being heard. But God, when He chose to reveal Himself, He spoke through His final word. It's a peg. It's a peg in history. It's the peg in history where we hang everything. I have certain things that I bought or were given to me, or I bought them after saving up for a year, like a pair of binoculars or a nice bow, or let's say my computer bag. When I lay that thing down, I make sure that whatever it's laying upon is very stable. If I hang them upon something, I make sure that what I hang them upon can hold them. Jesus Christ is that final great peg in the wall of history. And we hang absolutely everything upon Him and not upon another, upon Christ. In the beginning was, this is a reference to Genesis 1:1 and the beginning of creation. The eternity of God is often expressed in this type of language. Before the mountains were born, or you gave birth to the earth and the world, even from everlasting, you are God. Psalms 92. The main purpose of this phrase is to defeat any notion that the Son had a beginning or that there was a time when He was not. The Son was in the beginning with God before creation, therefore He is uncreated, eternal, and divine. This is very, very important. I think it's also important just to recognize here just how important our view of creation is. Been looking at some stuff here recently on evolution and things like that, and the importance of the debate of creationism versus evolution. If you throw creation out the door, as some pseudo-Christian types think they ought to be able to do, you've thrown everything out the door. Everything. The eternity of Christ. In the beginning, He was there. The design of the universe, the order of the universe, the purpose of the universe. If the world was not created, what does that say to us about who God is or what God is? If you throw away creation, you have no Adam. If you have no Adam, you have no Romans 5. If you have no Romans 5, you don't have salvation any longer. You no longer have imputation. You have nothing. Very, very important. You cannot give in on this. You cannot give in on this. Now, Matthew Henry writes, the Word had a being before the world had a beginning. He that was in the beginning never began, and therefore was ever. Puritans like to talk that way. It is important to note that the word was is translated from the imperfect tense in the Greek, which denotes continual existence in past time. B.F. Westcott writes, the tense suggests, as far as human language can do so, the notion of absolute supertemporal existence. Supertemporal meaning above the temporal, above time, Lord over time, not subject to time. The Word was always existing. B.B. Warfield writes, absolute eternity of being is asserted for the Word in as precise and as strong language as absolute eternity of being can be asserted. The Word antedates the beginning of all things. The Word already was before God thus began to speak things into existence. There is absolutely no way on the face of the earth that you and I can sit down and even begin to contemplate